Hey, traders. Welcome to this volatile Wednesday where, you're looking at Bitcoin, same price it's been for a few days now. But based on the context, you can't break 58,372. You got to break that, man. You got to break 57.5 to 58.3, and you're not doing it. You're clearly below the zone of inflection that is very, very important. And I guess your crappy consolation prize, chat, would be Bitcoin attempting right now to back test the wedge, right? The supply line that, the anchor points for the trend line that was created November 10th and then November 15th. You're attempting to break out of that earlier this morning, and now you're attempting to back test it barely, right? Just moments ago you were back in it, and you run the risk of falling back into this wedge easily if you can't get above the areas horizontally that are most important. So that's what you are. This is what we could consider certain purgatory when it comes to an asset, right? Purgatory. You can't break one resistance, but I think you maybe broke one resistance and you're trying to back test it right now. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's pretty coin flippish here, but it looks very similar, right? To back in September when we broke out. I don't even know where my wedge is, why it's not here. It's gone, dude. We're the first day of the month of October. Bitcoin went berserk. It is not the same. Not the same going on the new month today. So yeah, we have a lot of new patrons who joined today. Appreciate that. And I mean, literally 2 patrons since the stream started have joined. So thank y'all. Hold on, I'm gonna do the Jesus shouts for you. Give the shout outs to the new one real quick. That's Bitcoin, right? All you gotta do is look at the 3-day to know you're fine, right? Because we have a 3-day bullish engulfing candle, and as long as you don't get a daily or 3-day candle close below the open of 53.8, you should be fine. This is a valid reversal candle on a pretty significant time scale, but has yet to really go anywhere. Just some indecision after engulfing, which, okay, it's gonna happen. Daily, you can clearly see you just 3 days now. 3 days trying to break a major resistance, one of the most major resistances that exist on the chart for now. You can't break it. You are below it, man. What are you doing? You got to break this level. So you cannot get like euphoric or excited or happy or anything about Bitcoin right now if you want higher prices. It's because it's not doing the things that must be done first. It's failing to do those things. Okay, just so we're on the same page. All right, so Ethereum, the 88% retrace we were talking about yesterday. You spent a little bit more time there, another 12, 16 hours at the 88% retrace, and you have finally actually reacted there, right? That is a reaction occurring. Okay, so all you've done is it looks like you back tested the old November 25th high as support. You've bounced pretty hard from there, but you could thank Bitcoin for that. It's just doing what Bitcoin's doing pretty much locally. Hey, man, this is nothing. Oh, my God, Ethereum's done 1%, where you got the stock market, the index funds, breaking critical supports and dumping. Okay, so this is like outperforming collective index funds on other markets. So, and that's really kind of the story today. Less so crypto. What is it? The COVID variant. The first case of the Omicron is in California, and the markets are reacting accordingly to that. But it will probably, just going out on a limb here, it'll probably end up, you maybe keep selling, you'll probably just make a higher low than the previous low on the S&P, the one we saw in September, and then you'll run again. And money printer will go burr, So yeah, you're having a drawdown, and it happens. Like, always happens, right? So you caught a reaction on Ethereum, and if you were like, hey man, what if this is it? 50% retrace is where you'd be looking for a bullish 5-0 pattern. I already marked it, or already anchored earlier. It's around 43.84, 43.50. So like a successful backtest of the old all-time high, it might be strategic entry for swing trade to re-add to your Ethereum position if you were lucky enough to get down there. You don't know. Like, what if Bitcoin, holds here and breaks back above 58,343 and then goes to 63.5? There's no way Ethereum's going to be able to dump. So yeah, this is what we were talking about yesterday on Ethereum. At the 88% retrace, the pattern completion zone of the bear shark, there was no bearish divergence. There was no buyer exhaustion. So that makes me feel confident in this asset going higher. Maybe you pull back here, you go to the 50% retrace, but without exhaustion, man, the sell-off will probably be rather mild or shallow, and then you'll continue upward. No bearish edge at the PCZ, just following the 886, just doing that, just reacting there. That weather thing has been there like literally since the stream ever started, right? So it's currently, snowy conditions because Christmas is upon us, and it's nice to be festive and seasonal. I always try to follow the seasons. If you go to my YouTube channel, go check out the new banner. And the Santa hat is back on the logo, right? That's what we do. I think we have a new meme of the month champion too. I think it's probably terrible participation this month. I think people just gave up because they could never beat Black Plasma or Wayne Benson. Okay, Brad, is that cool? Sure, if you say so. Fine. Thought that was what happened before. Hey, Mr. Lodick, dude. Mr. Lodick, we've noticed. Congratulations. Jesus chimes for Mr. Lodick. You did it, man. You're back. Good stuff. Speaking of Jesus chimes, Veridin, Josh N, Zlatibor A, Adam S, Daniel S, Pekka H, New Unit, Cody, Zach H, Pray E. Thank y'all for joining the Patreon. Please be sure to sing the Patreon on the Discord. You gotta do it. Much love, y'all. Thank you. And thank you for all the patrons who stuck around, who are still patrons, because you're the majority. Way more renewing patrons than like brand new ones. So far anyway, it's the first. So what's going on? Hey Dan and
I'll take a tip $31.02. Hello again, Mitch. Not sure if you remember me, the guy who shorted a top on EGLD/USDT. Still in that position. Exit now or wait for a clear sign of reversal. Thanks. We'll join the Patreon tomorrow. 0.1488500 LTC.
What's up, dude? Alta year. Thank you for the 31. EGLD actually kind of bottomed out. It broke a supply line, and while Bitcoin was selling off at its lowest point, EGLD somehow was rallying. And it's probably attempting a rally, a major rally, probably going to 786, 886. You might get another chance to add your short if it's going to like attempt a rally and make a lower high. I think that's all it's maybe doing right now. Brad liked it, but again, made a lower low, then broke the supply line. So anyway, we can look at it. We'll put it on the list. All right. Dude, oh my god, like a helicopter literally flying by my window right now. Okay, so remember about Ethereum? Oh, I'm scared, dude, because it pulled back at an 88% retrace. You should never, if you know how to use Fibonacci, you should never be surprised if an asset reacts. Even if it's for a minute, just reacts at an 88% retrace. That's like probably the most probable area where it ever would react, okay? 886s. You got it. All right, but remember the 3-day? Who cares? 3-day, look at this insane bullish engulfing candle that broke you above previous all-time highs. Break supply line. I mean, everything's good, man. Everything's fine. Patience. Patience, chat. What are you going to do? How is this asset going to be able to do much of anything while Bitcoin's just completely beholden to the volatility of the stock market? Yeah. Bitcoin sold off with equities today. Literally to the T, watched it live as it was happening, okay? COVID variant got everyone spooked. Bots, algorithms, everything. People. And it still like hasn't really dumped yet. So, you know, midterm, this thing, okay, you know, bearish pattern presented itself. I think a bullish pattern will present itself after this bearish one. Okay, very nice. Let's look at, you know, total, right?
I like turtles.
Total's literally the same price it was yesterday and the day before. Wow, how about that? 3 days of literal nothing burger, no movement. Right, November 29th to now, $2.589 trillion. Okay, cool. Pretty much the same price it was at November 17th. Same price it was at October 20th. Okay, I'm falling asleep here on total. But you're above 2.4 trillion, which is fine. And you're about to be positive on momentum in either tomorrow or the next couple days, right? So you think you continue upwards? I believe you probably broke a supply line here too. Barely. My God, it's like happening today or something, right? You're breaking down sloping resistance. All right. You've done that before, right? Remember that last time you did it? Last time you did it, see ya. What's up, Cactus Leo? Thank you, man. What'd you say? You didn't say anything. You just were being nice. Thank you for supporting the stream, and I hope you enjoy your canvas art. I know a lot of people say you will enjoy it, okay? All right, Ethereum out of the way. So let's just go to Cardano. You know, it hasn't done anything looking at these coins. It's, you know, when we talk about it reacted, maybe what we'd be looking for, that we may never get it, is a back test of 145, 148, and that's support. Give us that second bottom, the confirmation we need to be confident that the bottom's in. We have no confidence that Cardano's done selling. You can't be confident until there's reasons. Just because you hit an inflection point and bounce off of it once doesn't mean anything. Okay, because it's going to rally. There's going to be no demand. Like there's not been any demand for months now. And it will sell off again after making a lower high, substantially lower high than previous highs. The hidden bearish divergence was certainly there, and it's starting to play out. So big. Yeah, I mean, Bitcoin's positive momentum will be green if it stays sideways, goes up a little bit in the next day or two. Yeah, it might be tomorrow, dude. It looks, I mean, the way total looks, it looks like tomorrow it's going to happen, like the new day. Like 36 minutes from now, a new candle will be painted, right? So yeah, very large market cap crypto is still no action to take on it. Still no like trade setup opportunity yet. Gotta go to the daily. I don't know why this it's not visible on the 4 hour. It should be. Okay. Yep, no edge, nothing implying a reversal. The sellers are not exhausted based on a daily time scale, right? You made your lowest low and you made a very high level of negative momentum. You're not even oversold. You're still just in the bearish control zone, or like right around 30. It's just not good right now. Still, can someone tell Hoskinson's son or whatever? Still looks like crap. Do something. All right. BNB, different situation. It's up on the day. Yes, up on the day. Or you think if this just keeps making these higher lows, I mean, you're thinking first all-time highs, right? Like $691 to $700. There's hidden bullish divergence that is about to go green, right? You're about to see green across the markets on a bunch of different assets. Daily histograms, right? Normally it doesn't end with one positive histogram wick, right? Yeah, normally you get a lot of them, right? You go one, a lot, over and over and over again. You'll probably do the same thing. So if that's the case, then there's a lot of room for upside. You have to understand, right? Think about it. Your RSI is neutral. You're sitting right at like 56. 56 with hidden divergence completely developed, about to go positive, butting up against the previous all-time high. the stage is kind of just set just as much for BNB to go into price discovery as Ethereum. It really is, man. Okay. Super strong. Strong like ox. Okay. Now let's look at the real stories of the day. You know, like the real markets that kind of headlined. Sorry, duplication here. What happened today? S&P 500, you know, pattern completion zone, perfect of the bearish crab pattern. Reaction high, reversal high. It hit the 1618 fib extension, and that was it. And is dumped, and you see clearly a daily candle low close below the September 2nd high, which should have been a support. Just kidding. Yeah, not good. Sorry, oops. Trying to. So you were in the bearish control zone again. Barely at 37.6 on the RSI, lowest level RSI you've seen since early October. And you're thinking you're nearing a 50% retrace from the previous low to high. Oh, hold on a sec. Let me actually the new high now. You are hitting a 50% retrace. Okay. But support wise, I mean stronger support's gonna be like 4,400. There's a peak at 4,479 that might act as a potential short-term reversal area, but really tough when your daily looks like this. Highest level of negative momentum the S&P 500 has seen since the COVID crash. That happened today, exceeding every other level since then, over a year and a half ago, right? Getting closer to 2 years now. Dang, man, it was rough. But you know, people be like, it's Omicron, but it's like, wait a second, this is like kind of, this was here, this always existed. You know, we come here every day, and it's like, as soon as it was painted, we talked about it, then we painted like a little flag, and the flag broke down, and yeah, this is exactly where assets can reverse, and sometimes do. This time it happened to reverse here, 1618. And the crappy thing about the 4 hour is no edge, no exhaustion implied, not oversold. 34 bearish control zone on the daily and 4 hour on the S&P. God, it's stupid. That's bad, man. It's like some bearish stuff going on for now. It's gonna how do we gain an edge? A lot of times it takes time. It's going to require time for the index fund to diverge again the way it did back September 30th. That was identified, right? Dragon pattern broke out at 886, blasted through the 886 and went to the 1618. So, I mean, it's going to take a while to develop an edge again, but it'll probably develop, and it'll probably be higher than the prices we saw in early October, late September. Right, 200 moving averages come in. You know, maybe you do come down to 30 or 4,400 and you back test. That's still a higher low. The trend's still intact. Crazy, right? Yep. Somebody broke into a Bitcoin ATM. I mean, they've got some cash in there, don't they? Because ATM. Oh, yeah. Dow Jones devastated worse, man. Like, it was like way worse. 1.34% down, 461 points. Nearing from your previous low, September 20th, to the highest high. You were almost at an 88% retrace. That's how you know, right? The same respective swing low to high. I have fibbed. I have anchored for my Fibonacci for the S&P and the Dow Jones. The S&P 500 is just today only hitting a 50% retrace, which would have been up here 35.1. But since the Dow Jones is getting wrecked way harder, it's nearing that deepest retrace, 33.953. And just below that is the critical support that you must not fall below. Otherwise, you could be in a lot of trouble, because there's very, very little support resistance built, you know, between November of last year and March of this year. So yeah, dumping. Really hard to imagine an M shape right here. You never had a retrace that was deep enough, I think, to justify saying X, A, B, C, D or something, right? But nevertheless, could be value perceived areas. And this one's so close to the previous lows that it's hard to be like, it'll probably make a higher low. I don't know. S&P going down to 4,400. This thing's probably going to 33.5 again to test the low from September. Value's getting wrecked. The only reason like why the stock market the S&P is not down as bad as just because Apple, right? The mega cap growth names are just kind of hanging in there. Nvidia like was down today, but like not too bad, even though it looks toppy. But then you had like Moderna was the worst gainer today. CRM was down really bad, right? Let me just get through the NASDAQ and the Russell 2000. I'll try to look at some individual ones. Yeah, so there was support broken, right? Hey, it all reversed. 1.618 fib extension. It's beautiful. You got to admire that and respect that, right? So, and the RSI in the end was divergence. And you have fallen below the high from September 3rd. I don't know how you would have held it today with the selling pressure that came in. I mean, really, after this level, if it is going to keep going, 14,754. I mean, the high back from July that has never been tested as support in history. So why would market participants not try to push it down to those levels just to make sure it's good? And by then, maybe you're getting to those deeper retraces from your previous low to high. And I'm just talking about, so the S&P was a 50% drawdown, Dow Jones almost an 88% drawdown, and so far the NASDAQ is actually slightly outperforming the S&P 500, where it is only at a 47-48% retrace. So slightly outperforming the S&P. Massively outperforming the Dow Jones. If this was the Dow Jones, then the NASDAQ would be at like 14,400 already. It'd be down here. So it's way better. Above the 200 moving average as well. What's up, Alpha Blue? Would I say that traditional markets correlate to Bitcoin? They have passing correlations, certainly. Certain passing correlations, and typically the correlations come back when there's volatility spikes. Yes, volatility spikes. One more, and then I'll show you the volatility spike. Yikes. Russell 2000, devastated. What a fake out. You know, all-time highs, 1618. Reacted, no reversal. You did not get the luxury that the S&P 500 got with the confirmation high. You know, and I meant, so this reversed, but never reacted and reversed at the same time. It was so weak, and just closed at your lowest level since August 20th. Multi-month lows on the small caps. And the meme stocks getting wrecked like most other assets. You go do a scanning session on your individual assets, stocks, and a lot of them had already begun corrections a month ago, 6 weeks ago. They had already started. And now you're confirming lower highs and some lower lows, breaking critical supports. It's all over the place. There is like a definite correction going on. Yeah, for sure.
Why not cover some lesser known projects instead of BTC? I hear on Twitter Christmas and New Year's projects are taking off like dollar in there.
Because it's not about projects here. It's about traditional technical analysis. Get it? TA with Mitch Ray. TA does not stand for shilling S coins and new projects that probably don't even have working products and are probably scams, most likely. That's why. That's what TA does not stand for, those things. Okay. Anyway, so wrecked. But anyway, the volatility index, chat, that someone had requested it the other day, that was at 16, 18. It was very low and could have continued down, but no. Now it at the end of the day, it hit the highest level since January 28th, right here. And collectively, hedge funds had their worst month. November, they were down 3.3% across the board on average. And that is the worst month they've had since the month of January. So it was the third worst month they had in years. And the first was obviously COVID, then the January of this year. And now it was November, their third worst month. So, and here's the spike. So it probably, wow, it's December 1st and this happened. Can't imagine how it's going for them already, on day one of the new month. Yikes. Thought it was bad November. Okay, hold my beer, says December. So big spike. Things aren't really dangerous till you start getting above 40 for a sustained amount of time like we saw in March. right? You get spikes, but bottoms normally have gotten put in, and volatility subsided, plummeted again. So hopefully we're just looking at, okay, elevation, you know, of volatility based on a knee-jerk reaction to a very mild version of COVID. And then that's it. It's just a buy the dip opportunity. Okay, and then it plummets again eventually. So it was up 14, it was up 15+% at the very top before it pulled back. Okay. Here's your gold. Gold hedge, by the way. It's a hedge for literally nothing. Okay, gold didn't do crap. It's just back in the chop zone. The zone of chop that's been in for, you know, since June of last year, really. It broke above it. That's kind of the mean, though. It's reverted to that. So I don't know if it's going to hold, but it sure looks good on the weekly. But, okay, you know, it looked good on the weekly, and all of a sudden this lower high got put in. Now it's like your higher low is getting put in jeopardy. What happens when you break below 1750? And you make a lower low than the low from mid-September? It's just like, hold on a second. You can't even be like that optimistic yet until you make a higher high than your previous high from May. That has to be put in. That has not happened yet. Just like Bitcoin has not broken 58,343 yet with any sort of confirmation or any resounding effort from market participants, right, to really just break it out like you thought it might have been happening this morning. Then nope, COVID variant, equities dumped again. All right, so it's lower than it was. So I'm just saying, like, gold needs something. It needs a higher low. And it doesn't have it yet. It needs a higher high and a real higher low. You got a higher low. Okay, that's what made me think, all right, maybe this is bottoming out. The China scam wick, right, with a bullish hammer that ended up getting invalidated anyway, which is crazy. Need a higher high, then a higher low. And so maybe if you pivot above 1750 soon, very, very soon, okay, slight accumulation still could be an argument. But you're getting very close to it being confirmed that there is no accumulation going on for the past couple months. None. Zero. Yikes. This market, man. So there was like one request, I think, maybe two. Yeah, we literally have one request today. All right. All good. So EGLD, this is what happened, and it was going crazier earlier, but you know, $400, it looked like it was trying to bottom out, but I don't know, like there was no reason. It was pretty weak argument here. It's stupid argument anyway, because it's like it only retraced moderately. You know, maybe it was diverging, and then there's the negative momentums kept building, lower prices. So it's just like, you know, just think about it. Maybe the idea to think about now is like, is it a huge Gartley? Oh yeah, maybe that's valid. And now the only time I would want to look at this asset, I mean, you might get lucky and it broke the supply line. It's back above $400, but now it's got to make a higher. If you want this argument for the breakout to be real, you have to get a candle close above 434 to make a higher high than the previous high. Otherwise, it's going to make a lower high, and it's eventually going to bleed out to 340. 340 actually kind of makes sense down here. You finally have something here, right? This has been outer space up here, but finally at some high back from November 10th that would line up with a 78% retrace, and the B point being a 61% retrace, and the lower high on C leads you to believe the PCZ is 786. So maybe by then you get some actual real nice bullish divergence in the RSI or something. So I mean, like, that's all you would probably do at this point is wait for that. But yeah, it rallied today. It's up 7.7%. Just wait till tomorrow when Bitcoin turns around and starts dumping again. It's just, you know, these levels, man. Look, zoom out. Wow. How could you ever say there's any value here? If anything, you would want to wait for 786, 886s in nasty uptrends like this. Wait for the deep retraces always. Never be settling for 50%. Just move on the next one until you wait and you find one that's at 786, 886, right?
Thanks for all that you do, Mitch.
What's up, Dean? Thanks, man. I think you did. Verasity, yeah, we looked through that the other day. Sure. Yeah, man, just imagine, like, just imagine equity market turns around tomorrow. I mean, crypto should, Bitcoin and Ethereum at least should do really well tomorrow. Okay, so yeah, maybe it just keeps going here, but like, dang, dude, we're talking about a strategy. Trying to strategize based on deep retraces in uptrends. That's the ticket. That, and if like things got real bad, then an 886, there's even more support, you know, at these levels. 886, 786, either one, it's probably going to be real good because of looking left, right? There you go, man. Okay. And you said you're short on it. My issue with it is it could attempt to rally here. Like look, so you have this idea for a major reversal, but then you have the idea now of this. And that'd be an 886. So if you just shorted that whole leg down, I mean, it might be a good idea to cover. Would be the chart, yeah. So I'm talking like that. I mean, if that's a lower low and it's actually bottoming out and it's going to rally, attempt to rally here, it's all about, yeah, I think your cutoff for whatever you're talking about, it's probably going to be around 430, 440, 450 area, that V point. That's where that's the bad action magnet move area. It's probably going to run up to 520 if it breaks that. But if it just makes a lower high than the previous high, then it could be going down to 340. So if you just, I don't know right now. Yeah, I don't know. It's in Rudy Poo land, man. No value, and trying to come up with excuses to say that there be value, you know. Okay. Bitcoin momentum about to go positive on the daily. Egg said, yes, so you can see it. It's getting there. It's pretty close, isn't it? You haven't seen positive momentum since the 11th of November?
How would you identify optimal entry points on $ENS? I think there's a bullish butterfly developing on the 1 hour. Thanks, Mitch, as always.
I thought we looked at that yesterday, and it was at the bearish pattern completion zone of the cipher or shark or whatever. Thought it was like it just ran up 800% or something crazy in a couple weeks. We'll look at it. That's all I can do. All right, thank you, and I'll revisit what you said. Tyler S and Double Bubble, thank both of y'all for joining the Patreon the past couple minutes. I know Bubble just right now just joined. Thank y'all. Sync it with the Patreon to the Discord. You have to. That's where the value is. Okay, thanks. It is the first of the month, so it is the best time to join the Patreon. So that is the single best way to support this community, this stream, everything I do, by joining. Okay. Because 100% crowdsourced, no monetization via advertisements, no affiliate marketing links shoved in your face, no sponsors, right? No one pays me money to push their product to you so you might buy it. None of that. It's all about the TA here. So anyway, yeah, positive Momo could be coming. It's on the way. Total looks way better, right? You know, of course it does, because you've got Ethereum as an aggregate, or aggregated into this chart right here, which has been outperforming so hard, and it will be like probably going positive tomorrow or the next day, depending on the price action. If you have positive, we have a good day tomorrow for Bitcoin and Ethereum and stuff. This is going positive tomorrow, like the new day. We'll see here. So BRA. So
Can
big.
we check MKR weekly chart? Hidden bullish dip, about to go green.
Yeah, we'll look at Maker. I mean, the weekly's, I think, pretty insane still. Not sure after the sell-off, but we'll look at it. Thank you, man. Okay, let's go to the next one real quick. Yeah, Verasity had a really nice run, cut with handle even, right? That's pretty close-ish. It's not as rounded as you'd like, but dang man, you know, you have the big sell-off and then the cup, right? The two peaks and then the handle. It's pretty much identical though. It's like, what was it, man? It was actually really a bullish 5-0 that reversed at the pattern completion zone of the 5-0. It was very similar to Total and Ethereum, this one, VRA. And then rallied to all-time highs, got to 8.7 cents, and has been selling off ever since. Yeah, it does look like positive or hidden bullish divergences in development, but hey, negative momentum building, you're continuing to sell. I don't know if I would ever touch this asset until it at least gets to 4.5 cents. All right, I mean, that's the zone. That's like the old neckline of the potential cup with handle, right? You probably want to wait on this one. Anything going on here? I don't really see anything. I mean, I know there's going to be a supply line that it hasn't broken, right? Yeah, look at that supply line. What did it recently do? It just made a lower low than the previous low on the 4-hour. It's making a lower high than the previous high. It's below the 200 moving average. It's neutral on the RSI. There's no edge, nothing implying a reversal right now on the 4-hour. So I mean, like, just right. Maybe the daily might be showing possible hidden bullish divergence, but the 4-hour is giving no signal to long now. So that's when you say, man, might as well just wait. To me, I don't see anything that sticks out as incredible. I would probably want to wait till 4.5 to 4.8 cents for a real nice reaction. Maybe we get a confirmation low though there in the future. But for now, I would try to wait. Oh, my throat, I don't know what's going on, dude. Dried up. Okay, all right. So that's it. I don't see anything that seems actionable for now on VRA. In terms of applying a formula, right? The value, all the indicators lining up at an inflection point on the second test, right? None of those things are really in existence on this, so you just have to move on, right? Okay, where did mine? No idea. I'm looking for the chart I looked at yesterday. And I found it. Okay, here it is. So remember what we were talking about? Who cares about a butterfly on a 60-minute time scale when we're looking at the 4-hour and there is no edge? Nothing's implying the reversal's coming anytime soon, right? I think you're definitely going to go back to 6170, an old level from November 14th. As maybe it would act as support. The only argument's bearish still. Okay, that's it. So we Fibonacci from the low point to high point now, and we see that it has not even retraced 50% of the way from the previous low to high. So obviously deep value, right? When you're trying to go long on something, you normally want to see 786s, 886s. If that's the situation, you'd be waiting for a while, $43 to $48. And I'm just talking about this idea here, okay? It would be a shark into another shark. I'll change the color, even though they're both sharks, just so it's easier on the eyes. There it is. That would be your target. Yep. And would it be weird? I don't think it'd be weird, right? Remember, this asset from its bottom, after it confirmed the bottom to the highest high ever, Appreciated in value 106% in 5 days. Double your money in 5 days. That's unbelievably good, unlevered. That's ridiculous, okay? Only people that did not participate ever in a traditional market would think it's not crazy, and you've just spent way too much time trading S coins, okay? That's insane. So it's like you've attempted a rally a couple times and it's been very weak and it's at a deep value perceived area for a short, right? And so it's selling off. And maybe you get lucky and it holds 61, 65. I wouldn't care about this crap till it maybe gets to deep value perceived areas. That's it, man.
Hey man, no one of my debit cards are not working to pay on Patreon. EGLD dropping again. Still riding to that bottom. 0.098900000 LTC.
Altier, thank you, man, for the 20 crypto contribution. And yeah, just look for the 200 moving average on the 4 hour. That's pretty much X marks the spot. In that 786 to 886 retrace, those are the areas. Thanks, dude. Okay, so ENS, I don't know, it's the same thing as yesterday. It was like the argument was ripe for bearish argument, and you just made your lowest level since November 27th today.
Noise. Analysis on $FTM, thank you.
Hey, Kevin. Yeah, we'll look at FTM. It was a better looking one, I think. It made the higher lows, the spring back tests, all that. So yeah, we'll do it. And thanks for the 1,000 people tuned in. And thanks for the 260 likes. Sure, we could get those numbers up. I mean, it's good for growth and stuff and people finding the stream. But yeah, it's not like the end of the world if no one likes, you know? Okay, next one. Was it Maker? It was Maker. Maker down almost 3%. Dude, this one looks crazy, but maybe it looks like this and it won't play out, you know? It is struggling, man. Like, and here's the my problem with, we've identified it. It does look good here, right? But maybe it's not that good. Like, maybe it's like, you know, say the momentum stops shifting and you start dumping because Bitcoin or something, right? And then all of a sudden you could just come up with this type of idea. Yeah, okay, then it's gonna go down again. Here comes the Gartley. It goes, sells off to 24.87. I wouldn't be taking action probably on what's developing here based on the context, right? Are we looking for complex inverse head and shoulders, momentum shifting structures up here? We're looking for them at bottoms. This is not a bottom, really. So I don't know how much I trust this, okay? I don't know if you should trust it either. It's pretty though. It's very pretty, but you just made a lower high November 27th and then another lower high November 30th. And now you're just selling off again below 3,100. I mean, maybe it plays out. Crazy, dude. But it would make way more sense and be a way better entry for a long as if you waited for like what I just showed you, right? Right, that would be a way more strategic entry, and you'd be extremely blessed. You'd be extremely blessed if this asset went to an 88% retrace, which is what? A level of inflection. And then you do another one, another effing M. God. So weak, man. What an underperformer. So many of these coins just underperform. Right, Ethereum. Oh, well, we're like just like 4 or 5% away from all-time highs again. And there's Maker down here. Well, we might like fail again. We can't break this February 4th high. We keep trying and failing and failing and failing. And when we fail, we just keep somehow making slightly lower highs than the previous highs. Think about it. This asset in May 23rd, right? It's making a lower high in August and another lower high in November and another lower high in later in November. It's just bad. Like, yeah, it looked good. It's like, oh my God, it's double bottoming. Look at the pump and then nothing. No follow through. Just the pump and then sideways consolidation, and could be just showing more distribution before it dumps again and goes right back down to that $2,400 area, which seems like it's a fixed price on Maker. Yep, people agree that's a fair price. based on how often it's been there, how long it's been there. You know, it pumps, it dumps, it pumps, it dumps, but it always goes back to 2364 fixed price. So it's just like, you know, it cool, man, cool, but I've seen them where they look good and stuff at these levels, and then they just dump. It's like, well, here you go, man. Down 3% on the day. We'd be getting more concerned about the stock market. I'll show you when we'd get more concerned. We were there earlier. We'll go back to it just for a second to answer this question someone had in the chat. It's very easy to know when to be concerned. When we start breaking below October 1st lows, that's when we're in trouble. But it's not just that. We will need, you know, this will bottom out, probably make a higher low, money printer go burr, they kick the can down the road, they're not going to let the system collapse, we're not going to get in a deflationary death spiral yet, because they just realize printing money and debasing our currency is the only way now to keep this crap propped up. And buybacks, stock buybacks are, you know, are also part of it. So, all right, yeah, it makes a, you know, it does make a lower low. Worst case, oh my God, volatility is at 40. Holy crap, dude. Circuit breakers maybe going on. I'm talking about worst case scenario. You're asking about something like if you were to be concerned about. So we're playing the hypothetical game. So you break your previous low. You bears capture prices lower than the previous discernible low on the daily and 4 hour. That's step one. So at some point below that level, it'll bottom out and it'll react for some sort of maybe dead cat bounce. So what we'd be looking for after the lower low, step one, is step two, where the asset retraces about 50% from the previous high to low and then tops out. And then at that point, hidden bearish divergence or something, that's when we're in trouble. That's when the bear market's going to be confirmed probably. I'm not kidding. When has the S&P 500 truly, I mean, for real, you know, and maybe you do bottom out like you did in October of last year and make a double bottom. But that was the last time we really made like a substantially or a real discernible lower high than the previous high. So that's when we're in trouble. The trend could be actually reversing once we make a lower low than the previous low, and then we rally and confirm with a substantially lower high than the previous highs. That's when we're screwed, or we could be screwed, and then you understand what could happen, what would ensue after that. And then bear market, right? But that's, again, I'm not saying that's going to happen at all. You literally asked the question, what would we be looking for? What would make us be in trouble? What are we looking for? And I just showed you, okay? I think we'll probably just make a higher low and this crap will keep on going. Everyone's going to get freaked out and it's going to be nothing, and then we go again, you know? But we'll be paying attention. We'll be here every day. So if you tune in the stream, I'm going to be monitoring this stuff, all these index funds and crypto and whatever. So it's all about trend analysis, you know, and you're undeniably in an uptrend, and that has not changed. That's not in jeopardy for many, many points. Did that help any answer your question? Don't even know who asked. I don't know. Someone asked. So... okay, anyway. Sales maker. FTM is next. Last request, I believe. Which is up today, barely. But yeah, I mean, this is concerning, kind of. I mean, where an asset is making lower highs, lower lows. Lower highs, same low. Not good enough. Got to have real higher lows. You did. You made a higher low that back tested the old all-time high as support. But look at it. The next step, you must make a higher high. You're not doing it. Not yet, anyway. If anything, you're making a very real bearish engulfing candle. 30 seconds till that is confirmed. Until you break a supply line and until you capture highs above November 25th, you can't. This is in a short-term downtrend, and there's no denying it. Okay, short-term downtrend until you recapture your previous highs. You break supply lines. And we have 10 seconds till your daily candle close. That was really, you know. 2, 1. Jesus shines for the new day. So yeah, I can't really, I mean, short-term downtrend, undeniably. But look, I mean, like what happened in the past, you know, comparable situation, right? The asset created a supply line and then finally, you know, stayed above the 200 moving average. Big, important variable there versus now where we're just testing it as resistance. You broke the supply line, stayed above the 200, and you rallied, right? For now, though, this is a much larger structure, much more time, and this correction did not get confirmed broken really until I think you broke 150, and that was October 6th. So you see what I'm saying? You had to eventually recapture the previous highs that you had created. So we've created new highs, multiple ones, right? And you're substantially below them. So until you break those, you have to say the short-term downtrend is still intact. Short-term, not long-term. Doesn't mean this thing's crap and it's going to zero. It just means you're in a short-term downtrend. It happens, man. And there are criteria that have to be met before you can say with confirmation that it's going back to the long-term uptrend. Okay, it's not yet. So your daily on Bitcoin, it confirmed. Wow. I don't know, I still don't like it. I hate it below 58,372, chat. I just don't like it. You know, it's so weird right here. But I do like it out. You know, I like it. It is out of the wedge. It broke out of the wedge, I guess, you know, and just back tested it again. But okay, you'll probably test it once more, but how long do you have to fail to break a major resistance before, you know, buyers relent and the sellers take back over to push the price lower until, you know, absorbent demand is met, right? Or there's demand at a price where market participants think it's fair. After all that failure, I think a lot of market participants are saying, I don't like it. I don't think it's, I'm not willing to buy this asset above 58,372, right? Or there's too many people that have their Bitcoin for sale at that level and they're not letting it break. Because I think they know how important it is. It's everything right now. And below it's like 53K. That's the next level. I mean, in actuality, I mean, if the hidden bearish divergence played out and you know, say it failed and say the equities market kept dumping and Bitcoin was affected negatively and it kept dumping too, you know, I mean, it really wouldn't be that weird to go to 53K. You never even back tested it actually as support. So you can't be that surprised if it happens. Because it was like, hey, we were at this level. Dude, if we break it, we're off to the races to the next major level. But you couldn't break it. And it was like 2.5 to 3 days you have not been able to break it. That's not good. That's bad. That is failure. Lots of failure. It's an inverse head and shoulders on Bitcoin. Symmetry's kind of weird, you know? I mean, like, it looked like it held. I mean, these candle low closes, the local ones that held on the 30th yesterday, but it could go all the way down to 55.4 and then still be valid as a potential idea of an inverse head and shoulders. But I don't know. I kind of liked it as it was breaking out, trying to break out in the morning, and then it's just like, yeah, we did everything that made sense that it might do, and just completely bamboozled, reversed again because of macro volatility. So now that's manifested into a daily candle close below the major inflection point that we have to desperately be above. We're below it.
Thanks for the content I have been watching since December. I have learned a lot. Today I lost all of TAR-TA on TradingView. RIP.
Dang,
but I
man.
don't need it because I am learning it.
I'll post a moment of silence for all your TradingView data. Okay, that was it. That's all you got, because, you know, it's not that... It's bad, but it's not like someone died or something. Thank you, dude. Okay, so that's your Bitcoin. Pretty lousy close, like awful, like just terrible, right? 3 days in a row of rejecting a major inflection point and confirming that what was once a resistance from history is now certainly a resistance again. For now, until like today, you just pump and break it and engulf, or not, you can't engulf, but you have a green candle. I mean, until you do that, you just got to be a little weary. Stop failing, Bitcoin. Jeez. Okay, Ethereum, much better shape than Bitcoin, right? There is nothing bad about Ethereum, dude. It is well above its previous. It's well above its major inflection point. It doesn't have to be an old all-time high. It just happens that this is. Okay. I'm still thinking like 5K. I don't know how you get there. I mean, Bitcoin might have to go down to 54K, and then Ethereum might have to go down to 50 or 43.80 or something, or 43.50 first. But either way, I think eventually 5K. Even if it's gonna do the long extended shark PCZ, and then it's all over for the whole market or something, I still think that's probably where it's going. $5,000. And you know, we didn't even look at these today because like Ethereum hasn't really been like a notable centerpiece for the conversation. But look, I mean, Ethereum to Bitcoin after a colossal breakout. Well, Ethereum dominance had the colossal breakout. Ethereum to Bitcoin did have a very real breakout, but did not get a candle close above the high from May, which, hey, give me an indecision candle after a major impulse like that and a breakout, and okay, we'll just engulf today and go to run to 8.5 million like it was nothing, right? Look left. What's your history here? Pretty much only straight up, straight down, straight up, straight down, straight. Dude, it's so many times in here that all it does is straight up, straight down, straight up, straight down, straight up, straight down. Okay, so probably going to 8.5 million sats. If it ever broke that, look out for 10 million plus sats. Could you imagine where the US dollar is going to be? You could imagine, I'm sure. All right. That was Ethereum, Bitcoin. So on the daily, on the 4 hour, as you can see, it just hits the level, the resistance, and after such a massive run, pulls back some. That's fine. It's completely like nothing. Okay, no bearish divergence, right? So nothing's implying that the buyers are exhausted on this. Give me that shallow, mild, pathetic scrub retrace and then roll again. And maybe next time when you attempt that rally, you'll get some bearish divergence. But like nothing's implying Ethereum and Bitcoin's going to reverse bearishly. Okay, so look out. Keep it rolling. That bull pull bull flag combo was incredible, right? In the end, a lot of times the flags don't actually play out that perfectly, but this one was pretty solid. Ethereum dominance. Remember, it's pulled back too. It's in no man's land. It looks like it's trying to back test, I guess, the high from May 13th as support for the first time ever. You have to go to the daily to see the other data. It's weird. But look, I mean, you're above like the major levels from 2018. Multitude of times reversals have occurred there. Look, it also was a support in 2017. Yeah, so anything above 20.45% total market or just market cap dominance leads you to believe eventually 25% of all money in crypto will be in Ethereum. And of course, to zoom out, you can see the parabolic uptrend is certainly intact right now, being so well respected. Wow. And yeah, the hidden bullish divergence in early November has begun to seriously play out. Absorption of remaining supply and accumulation. Even though it's a dominance chart, still respects the TA pretty well. Okay. Alexandru D, thank you so much for joining the Patreon right now. Please be sure to stream the Patreon and Discord. Alright, thanks so much. It's a new day, Bitcoin, unfortunately, is below areas we desperately need it to be above. Could you imagine Bitcoin could break 58,343 where Ethereum would go? Oh my god. It would be so ridiculous. But we just might get another leg down on Bitcoin first, you know? I mean, it's a very real possibility of the hidden bearish divergence in the 4 hour failing to break a resistance with confirmation failing to break it.
Hi Mitch, can we please look at DAX/USDT on Qcoin? Thanks.
We'll do it. Thank you so much, Arabian plebman. See, do we have any more requests? No. No, yours is it. Alright, so that was Ethereum dominance. Real quick, let me just go to Bitcoin dominance. I want to check it out. It's been getting kind of wrecked. I mean, it makes sense with Ethereum when we've known about Ethereum. This thing's going for full reset, it seems. Are we going to get another harmonic here, or is this thing going to break to, you know, is it going to break 39% market cap dominance? I could actually, looking at Ethereum, I could see that, right? It would be because of Ethereum. If we're in some new paradigm, right? Some new meta where, you know, Ethereum is the one now. I mean, here's the crappy thing. You don't know if the reversal's in yet with this harmonic because you didn't establish a higher high than July 30th's high, and you have not yet put in a low, an established higher low than the previous lows. So yeah, I mean, like, you still don't know if the trend has reversed on this, even though we found a great, you know, temporary bottom. 200-day moving average is resistance with confirmation 2 times, 2 different days. And you're selling all again. So, I mean, almost a Gartley here. Yep. At this point, if Ethereum keeps doing its thing, this is going to continue to plummet. Okay. Even if it looked good for a setup, it ran up. It didn't even hit A. Yikes. It was close, though. Really close to hitting the top of the harmonic. If Bitcoin dominance breaks 39%, petition to change stream to Ethereum Live. Well, the problem is SEO marketing kind of sucks for Ethereum. It's not very good. I don't know. I think Ethereum would have to like go to 10K or something for like the crazy FOMO SEO to play out really well. Well, yeah, man, yeah. It's a new day and lots of red already. It's only been 12 minutes. Yikes, dude. But we could give it a few streams where we do that, if Ethereum did that or something. But yeah, it'll take a lot of work. Okay, let's go to DAG. Which I know we've been here recently-ish. Well, it's kind of interesting. We had identified that structure, and then it broke out and rallied and just made a lower high than the previous high. From the high to low of that structure, it did hit like 61% retrace for reversing. And maybe it's trying to bottom out here, but I'll tell you this, on the daily, not looking good. I don't like DAG below this July 11th high at 19.4 cents. I don't like it. Okay, it just yesterday with confirmation. You broke down 2 days ago. You had a bearish engulfing candle that closed below the 200-day moving average, and then yesterday you back tested what was once a resistance as resistance again. It looks bad to me, kind of like correlating to an old, you know, resistance and support. Look, it's been support before too, many times. It's now resistance. If you don't, I mean, this is implying like if that right there, that short-term price action with the break the hook, it could be time to sell off more. And it really wouldn't be that weird. It just wouldn't be that weird, man. I mean, it's at a 78% retrace. I get it and stuff, right? But you've got to get back above 19. Just like Bitcoin has to get above 58,343, this asset has to get above 19.4 cents. It's below it. Bitcoin's below. It's 58,343. So they're doing short-term bearish price action locally at this time. Okay, so Yeah, it wasn't. What a nice run. It could just be correcting, right? You made the high here September. You just made a lower high earlier in November, beginning of November. Another lower high. Now you're just sitting here. Is there absorption of remaining demand going on? I mean, you could think about it like this too. Think about it like this, maybe. You know, like big M shape, 886, going to be bringing it down to levels that make sense. I mean, you understand below 19.4 cents, the target's 10.5 cents, right? It could lose almost, right? What's the downside potential on DAG below 19.4 cents? There is 43% downside. How do we know that? Look, straight up, straight down, straight up. That's it. I mean, like, pretty much when you fall below that level for real, you could go straight down again and it wouldn't be weird. And then it would be a deep retrace of an 886. 786s are down here from your previous very real swing low from May, right? That would make plenty of sense. I mean, I would not be touching Constellation right now. I'd be waiting. Because there's an argument for a massive downside if this doesn't. But it's all about if you break above 19.4 cents, come back to me. Let's talk about it. Maybe back tested as support. Then the double bottom starts becoming a stronger argument. But yeah, it does look like there's bullish divergence on the daily. Yeah.
Letting the rest drive pending BTCPA. Would appreciate your TA on MTV. Any harmonics?
What's up, Carson Daly?
Broad wedge. THKS.
Thank you, dude. So we have a bunch of contradicting variables here. We have seller exhaustion implied here, but below a critical inflection point. Okay, so come back to it above 20 cents, 19.4 cents, and maybe back test it as support. Then we're better. We're safe again. But until then, you can't take action on it yet. Okay. Martin, thank you, dude. We will look at it. Okay. KMC. Any thoughts on what? I mean, well, you know, there are targets, but it's never going to hit them if Bitcoin wants to go to 54K again. No target, no long target will ever get hit on pretty much anything if Bitcoin's going back down to 53K. Okay. Dang, married with crypto. Let's go. Dang, really appreciate that. Thank you.
Nothing to provide. Just wanted to support the channel. I watch a few times a week. Thanks for doing what you do.
Thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you. Much love. And yeah, I'm hopefully just providing some form of value in your life, you know, since we all have limited free time. Try to make it about business and just charts here, you know. Thanks again. All right, KNC now. That if you zoom out, no problems. Like literally, it's nothing burger if you go to the daily and zoom out of a problem. Like there's no issues. You know, you couldn't break 205, so you're gonna go test 186 that you haven't yet. You actually did on November 28th. You're going to test that again. I don't know if you'll hold. If you don't hold that, then you're going to the demand line around 170. If you don't hold that, well, that's when you're probably going down to 135. But lots of accumulation going on an asset that's been range bound for most of the half the year, and you just all you have to do is break a level. $2.05 is almost everything on this chart. 205 to 230, right? Because I mean, you've established a very strong resistance from August, November, multiple times, right? The sell wall is there clearly. We just keep making higher lows every time buyers relent at the same level, sell off, and more market participants on the asset than did the time before. So hopefully you can just do it again. Yeah, we'll look at it, Egg. Thanks. Yep. Yes, new day, and nothing, no good price action, no bids just coming in at all. I mean, it looks, it's starting to look like really good chance Bitcoin does go square up around 54 574. It looks like a confirmation highs below the resistance for real. I mean, I hope it doesn't, but you did only make a lower high than you did from November 25th, right? You established a lower high in the past few days than you did before. And the previous event before that was the lowest low of this short-term correction. So it's just like, we need to make a higher high and we need to make a higher low. We haven't done any of those yet. We haven't done either one on Bitcoin. It's kind of annoying. Okay. That's your KNC. I mean, long-term looks fine. Long-term uptrend. Accumulation, but someone's suppressing the price, aren't they, while they keep accumulating? For now, anyway. I mean, if you break 230, 278, 330, 377, 433, you're talking about targets. There you go. People still use Robinhood, dude? Wow, okay. Next request was for Carson Daly. Ended up doing the 113, didn't it? It actually went higher. It went higher than the 113, didn't it? God, it was pretty close. Right? I mean, the shark, okay, and a reaction low, maybe a reaction high, a reversal high. I think you're in a downtrend now, a short-term downtrend, okay? You made a high. You now certainly made a lower high, then a lower low, then your previous low, now a lower high. And the lower high back tested levels as resistance that were once resistance before, and now you're working on maybe another low, lower low. I mean, this is a huge, this looks like, man, it's like some sort of like Wyckoff range, right? Yeah. I don't see an edge yet. Let me get rid of that. So you get it though, big range bound asset between 15 cents and, I'm sorry, 1.5 cents and 2.5 cents. It's kind of what's going on. I don't know, it keeps falling below that level. That shouldn't even matter right there. That shouldn't even be there. It should be like this. Let's see, where was that bottom established? Right there. Yeah, you have the candle high close from April, and then you have the local lows being put in below it. So I think this is kind of like your range here. You know, you're nearing the bottom of the range again. No action to take on it. No action, right? When's the last time this asset made a lower high? Last time the asset made an actual lower high on the daily was like May, and then it dumped. And then it made another lower high, then bottomed out, and then reversed. But it has been a long time since on the daily this asset's made a substantial lower high than the previous high. And it's not just one time, it's multiple times now. So interesting. Yeah, no edge. No edge yet. I mean, I get it. I see the M shape you're talking about. We can plot it for you. Sure, there's your shark, right? Not at the PCZ yet, right? So if anything, that, right? Pattern completion zone, beginning of the pattern completion zone, 1.6 cents. But if things get nasty, the 113 makes a lot more sense because it lines up almost literally perfectly with the bottom of the range, right? 113 down there, and it's near a 1.618 fib extension. So I don't think there's any action to take on this asset yet. You're getting there. You're getting closer and closer to being at the bottom of the range, but you're just not quite there yet. You aren't. So you gotta wait. Have your alert set up at like 1.6, 1.5 cents down there, right? And then we'd be looking for it being an oversold, and then we'd have to still wait for a reaction low, a lower high, then a sell-off, and then a confirmation low, a second bottom, right? That's your MTV. Carson Daly, man, I'm sorry. It's not quite there where we want it to be, okay? And even against these levels, it could be Wyckoff distribution, you know, and it could dump to 0.9 of 1 cent. God. Okay. Next request was UMA. Sure.
Bert tipped $22.93. CFX Conflux 0.00500000 ETH.
Okay, Bert, we'll look at it. Thanks, man. Just look at this one and that one. Sure. UMA, it had its fun, and it's breaking a demand line now. Right, this hit, what, 3 of the 4 targets of the trade setup. The 4th one being just the swinging for the fence, because like in other market conditions, like because we don't know how bullish the chapter is, right? Or the book is, right? The chapter could end, 3 targets hit, and then, oh wow, you break that resistance. There's almost no history that would not take you to 29.5 cents or $29.50. It couldn't do it, so it's pulled back. And I think the trend's intact until it falls below 1097. But this one, you had your opportunity when the momentum was bullish, when it was making consecutive higher highs, higher lows. Now it's at a big drawdown, deep retrace. But breaking a demand line like that, I don't think you can do anything until it maybe gets to 1143, because there's no historical horizontal line support resistance really too much where you are. I mean, where the price is historically correlated, I think this probably has more downside. It's not oversold. I think this could go lower, and it wouldn't be that weird, man. Right? I mean, entry 1130, and then, like, you know, 3 profit taking levels. Like, the last one was 1870 or something crazy, right? Do I still have it up? I don't even know. Yeah, look, I mean, that's pretty good, you know. What is it? I mean, yeah, an asset going up 30 to 40, 50. I mean, at one point, at its highest level, went up 100% in 12 days. You know, I mean, like, it's not too difficult sometimes getting an entry, even though sometimes it can be impossible, right? But, like, sometimes, you know, it does the thing, right? It goes to 3 easy, and then can't get to the 4th, and then just begins to reverse. And now you're below the first profit taking level, you know? It's just... Okay, that's your UMA. CFX to... Is it a crypto? I guess. Confluence, he says. Are you talking about a crypto or a stock, man? Because... Bert, man. Conflux. I don't even know. Is that... Oh, that might be a stock. Hold on, let's see. Oh, Conflux. No, Colfax. Conflux has to be an S coin, right? Because there's a stock called Colfax. And I guess the S coin's named Conflux. Okay. Well, this is it, dude. Nothing to do right now. I don't... Right, nice start. Terrible start. Not at the bottom of the range, not at the top, closer to the bottom, but impossible to strategize an entry here. It's impossible. No, there's like, it doesn't matter if it rallies here. How do you strategize it? You can't. That's it, right? If the asset is 35% above the level where it's you're easily able to strategize an entry and a stop loss and take profits, then there's nothing you do. You just move on. Because, right? I mean, what do? You long here and you just hope that it doesn't fall below what? 25 cents? Then it falls below 25 cents and then rallies. Like, what? Because you don't really know if it's a true support. Yeah. Nothing you can do here on this one. Bert, thank you though. I appreciate it. Okay, that was last request, and sorry chat. Bitcoin has failed to break out. Hidden bearish divergence seems like it's about to start playing out. If it hasn't, you just got your first level of negative momentum off of it, so maybe it's coming. Not too much holding you up here. I mean, there really isn't much at all holding you up besides the local lows from November 19th and 23rd. That's it, dude. There's nothing else till like 53K. So So yeah, man, it seems, look, it's, the skies are blue, and colors are brighter, things are going to taste better when Bitcoin's above 58,372. That's the number. If you're below that area, or 57,489 for that matter, colors are a little bit more bland, monochromatic, whatever. Tastes are dull. Things are just, they don't look as good, okay? Because that's all traditional technical analysis is kind of about, the levels. And you're below the level. We got to get above it, man. Ethereum's not in the same situation at all. Ethereum's like, Ethereum's like, you could lose a crap load of value, go to 43.84 and test it, and you're still completely fine. There's so much more downside, and it's still in great shape. Isn't that crazy? Like, Bitcoin's like, oh, if you don't get back above that crazy level soon enough, you could be looking at substantial down. I mean, you could go for another 7% downside on Bitcoin if you stay below this level long enough. Anyway, so been live 1 hour and 30 minutes. We got through the requests. They're, you know, it's pretty light stream today, kind of to be expected. But hey, man, this is the one. Ethereum is the one, chat. That's all I can tell you. I can't imagine it looks good, dude. This has to look like trash. Kind of like bottomed out, I guess, right? JD. Yeah, it did, didn't it, huh? Wow, it did. Wow, look at this complex inverse head and shoulders. Look at that momentum shift. I guess I just hadn't been to this in a while. Kind of got jaded on Chinese S stocks. Yeah, really nice recovery, rounding out. Not really rounding, but extremely symmetrical bottoms, complexity. And you were trying to break the 92.59 area back from November, but you failed. At this point, you're starting to get to a level where I'd be concerned. It's not actionable for long now. You're requesting it now. I get it. But look here and listen. I think there could be more upside. I think you could very well go to the 886, but it'll probably end there, right? And that puts in a major double top. You're attempting a rally here, okay? And this kid looks almost like a major rising wedge pattern. Give me a sec. Is it? I think it is, man. And this is like, you better be careful. It may look okay, but look at this, man. That's yikes. Big yikes there. And it's really like this, okay? That's really what it is, right? You had the markup, the huge run up, and then the sell off from the high to low. That's where the consolidation really began. Even if you get another touch there, just look at it. That's a pretty beautiful structure. Trying to get all these like touches nice. Yeah, you just up thrusted through the top of the rising wedge, and I know it looked great. It like the recovery and reversing and stuff, but I wouldn't touch this just because it's Chinese, man. Individual Chinese asset. We've already seen it. Like they were like great opportunity. They looked so good. They were starting to reverse, and then just Chinese government bans an IPO the day after it gets listed because they listed their IPO not in China, mainland China, and then it's like what? And investors just hate that, and I would hate it too. That's like your money, and too much can happen because there's no due process there. Though, man, all the government has to do, the mafia, Chinese communist mafia, click their finger, they wake up, Xi Jinping has bad stomach ache, he could just ban something. Like that easy, right? So in a market like that, I don't know if you want to own assets connected to that so directly like this. But yeah, that's a beautiful rising wedge pattern. I'd be really careful, man. I don't know if I'd long this. Okay, anyway. There you go, Victor, man. Moments later, back to Bitcoin, still sucks. Below critical levels with hidden bearish divergence. Ugh, okay. The good news is, even if Bitcoin sells off the better asset, technically the better asset. Ethereum would sell off too, and it would only make substantially higher lows than the previous lows before. That's a really high probability that it's going to be fine. Make a 50% retrace. Who cares? Go to the bullish 50 PCZ. I don't care. Way better than Bitcoin. All right, y'all. Thanks for the likes, love, support, contributions, everything in between. First of the month, so it is, again, the best day to join the Patreon if you want to support the channel. You know, you watch the stream every day and you don't watch ads and, you know, whatever. You want to pay the community back or the team back, you know, join the Patreon's the best way to do it. And it ensures that no advertisements have to be done, all these, you know, all the crap that you have to deal with most content creators. We don't have to deal with it here. So keep your eye on 57,489 to 58,372. Above that, we're golden. We are in insanely good shape above that. Below it, below that level, chat, I'm just, at any time, you could sell off and see much lower prices below where we are right now, where we need to be. So you cannot be like, oh my God, I can't believe it dumped to like 54,580 for a square up. I can't believe it dumped here. You have to be able to believe it the way it's rejected the level it needs to be above for so long, for 3 days. Don't be surprised. Same time, hey, consolation, the supply line is somehow trying to be tested as support, but it's not. I don't feel very confident about it just because of the context looking left, you know?
How is ETHD and ETH outperforming health wallets?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I'm not really sure. You know, it's a great question. All I know is I know it's good for Ethereum. I don't really know how well it's going to be for alts. I mean, I'm sure they'll be okay. Maybe the ones on the Ethereum platform, but I don't really know their like beta, you know, like their sensitivity to Ethereum's price action, really, right? I don't know. Okay. So just look out below, you know. I mean, say this breaks, probably going to 55,665 to test that low from November 19th and November 23rd. If you hold it, you're probably going to test 57,489, 58,372, of course, but you've already failed a million times, so I don't know why it would go up to fail again. Probably that was the rejection right there, you know. Pray for the equities market, I guess, too, since we're synced back up with it. People are scared. A lot of fear out there because of one case of a very mild variant of COVID. Okay, so I'll just be back. Until next time, respect the TA.